And welcome back to Black Hills High School. Our final, R.A. Long, the Lumberjacks 64, Tumwater T-Birds 56. Paul Beatty along with Keith Clark and Kerry Clark. And wow, what a finish here. Tumwater got it all the way back to, I think, as close as 4 points.
Yeah.
And then so often we see that, Keith, you see that big deficit and the team come roaring back. It's so hard to climb the mountain and get over the top.
Yeah, teams always go on a run either way. We were doing the game Friday night, and Tumwater had a 28-10 lead in the first quarter, but then it was even the rest of the way. So every team goes on a run. It just depends when you do it. Tumwater went on that late run, but like you said, just couldn't quite get over the hump there. Got to give credit to R.A. Long, though, man, for stopping them short because – man, that was some really good basketball played right there.
I really think if folks think that R.A. Long, if they think that they're just a one-player team, tonight proved them completely different. That this is not a one-player team, and when Cavan isn't at his best, then what did he end up with?
20.
So even with the 20, which is a fantastic number for everyone, but that's 13 below his normal. And he was definitely not on his game shooting-wise. He was definitely on his game playing defense. It's really interesting watching him because, yes, as much as he scores, it looks like he takes as much care and effort on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, he's really fast, and he's not a real big guy. I mean, he's kind of thin, but, I was really impressed with how physical he was on defense. And then he was 12 for 13 from the free throw line, so 12 of those points coming from the foul line. So he's just producing where he needs to, And so, with only 7 points in the first half, and then he ends up with 20. So, that's just super impressive.
How many different Lumberjacks scored?
You had Brown with 9 points, Gabbard with 6, and then Jenkins with 13, and Cook with 14. So, and then you got Holden. So 4, besides Holden.
So spreading around to 5 different ones. I think only 6 players played.
Right,
only
exactly.
Phil was the only one off.
Yeah.
Everyone, a huge effort tonight by Jackson Cook and TraMayne Jenkins as well down in the paint, and the defense that they applied to the sharpshooters of Tumwater really holding them somewhat in check as well.
Absolutely. Jenkins and Cook, with 13 and 14 points, and most of that was in the first half, but then they were forcing a lot of those bad passes that Tumwater had there in the second half. So getting the ball back so that their guy could start scoring a little bit. So
all right,
great team basketball.
Let's go through the scoring for Tumwater then.
Okay, Tumwater. Luke Reed with 11 points, most of that again in the first half. Andrew Collins with 18 points. Luke Brewer ended up with 15 points when he had a pretty slow start. And then Braden Orm with 5 points. Gunnar Haroon, a little bit lower his production, 2 points tonight. Connor Hopkins also with 2 points. And Tanner Brewer with 2 points.
So, again, some of the scoring not quite what they're used to, the T-Birds. They come up short here with 56, not enough here tonight. And R.A. Long says, no, we're advancing. And with the win, not only do they advance to the district championship, they go straight to the state tournament as well. And if they can knock off and win the district championship, that will help them in the seeding. Again, folks, just a reminder, the RPIs that come out and all of these other things, none of that matters in any of the team sports anymore. Right. Every single team sport is hand-selected by a human committee. And they do use the RPI in some of their discussions, and then they discuss, and that's how the seeds come out. So just because, a team may be the number 1 RPI, they may have a discussion that it is not, hey, that's not good enough to be the number 1 because of these reasons and these reasons and whatever. So there is a human committee that puts all of that together. They will do that, I believe, this Sunday is the final day because the next week is regional. So then we'll know this Sunday what the state tournament is going to look like.
Yeah, we could have a whole show on that selection committee. I'm a big fan of it, to be honest with you, and I think it's been better since they switched to that. So,
well, then I'm hearing some of the old arguments, though. People, some of the coaches say, we just played this team in districts. Why do we have to play them again? And I go, because you asked for it. What do you mean? I says, you guys are the ones that complained about all the criteria before the criteria that the WIA was forced to use by the members, which are them, didn't want those early matchups, didn't didn't wanted to take travel into consideration, wanted to do all those things.
Yeah.
Now they got what they want. Now they're complaining that they got what they want.
Yeah.
So I have very little patience.
Right. No, like I'm a fan of it, and I think when the matchups do come out, football and basketball, I'm like, wow, okay, that looks pretty good to me. I mean, there's and then the bubble teams or the teams that end up missing it, my answer. Win your games, you got to win those games, and it's just that simple.
Exactly. So, there's got to be a line somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You could go back to my days, folks, where we only had 8 teams go to the playoffs, and there was only a Final Four. Everything was just like baseball is now. You have regionals, which is you have your opener, regionals, and then boom, Final Four. Yeah. That's it. That's how it used to be. Now. Yeah. Now you've got 20-team tournaments in the 3As and things like that.
There's a lot more opportunity for schools to get in.
Well, let's get to our MVPs here of tonight. And, for the Tumwater Thunderbirds, it's a battle. It's a matter of two halves here for this. Andrew Collins, clearly the MVP of the first half.
Yeah.
Maybe Luke Brewer is the MVP of the second half, but overall, who do you like?
Well, I like Andrew Collins. One, he did lead the T-Birds in scoring with 18 points, but he's also 5 for 6 from the free throw line. And he was, if it wasn't for his good first half, Tumwater wouldn't have been in this game at all.
Yeah.
They leaned on him heavily, and then he did end up fouling out in the second half. They're late. But he was still playing pretty good defense in his half. That's my opinion. I'd lean towards Collins on that.
Yeah. Let's go with Andrew Collins on that as our MVP for the Tumwater Thunderbirds. Now the RA Lumberjacks. Most people say, it's going to be Kevin Holden, but I say hold the phone here. Yeah. TraMayne Jenkins and Jackson Cook, and those are the two. I can't really say. I'm not sure which one I want to go with. It's going to be either Jackson or TraMayne, in my view.
Yeah, I would lean towards Jenkins, just because of his athletic play and how much he helped on both ends of the floor, and he had 13 points total. Adding, and that's way below above his average. Excuse me. So he kind of played out of his mind tonight. Compared to where he's normally at.
But the flip side, we can go back to I think Jackson Cook scored like 4 points. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
In that one run where he blocked a shot, then got his own rebound, put it back up as well, and so a different kind of athleticism, wasn't it?
Right.
So, but that one play down here for TraMayne Jenkins is just unbelievable.
Yeah, that play there, putting it back up, and then that save he had in the corner down here was just that's tough to do.
We'll go with TraMayne Jenkins as our MVP for RA Long. All right, anything else tonight?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you, Keith and Carrie. Great job as usual. Thank you for watching. You can shift on over if you're interested. Mark Morris and Black Hills, they're going to get started. I believe that's set to start at 7:45, so there's still 15 minutes. If the first game might still be on over there too, I'm not sure, but that'll be with Matthew King, and Tony Davila. They got the call over at Tumwater. Till next time, thanks for watching here on the Eli and the NFHS Sports Networks.